Hey everybody, this is Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. I appreciate you being here and I'm excited to wrap up May project life for last year. This is another collage type page and I wanted to kind of wrap up the entire month of May. So this covers week 22 and then I think parts of week 23 because I didn't want to make another spread. And I'm using the Ali Edwards Enjoy Story Kit. And I just love that story kit. It's going to be very versatile. So I took one of the chipboards that says This Life, and then I found some adhesive labels, and I wanted to tuck one of them behind the chipboard, but that just wasn't going to work because of how long they are. So what I'm going to wind up doing is putting it towards the middle. I wanted to make sure to punch my holes because I always forget to do that. So I took care of that, and then I'm still kind of fiddling around with that sticker label, and eventually I am going to decide to use one, but I decided to go with the brighter color of red once I have looked at that multicolored card and decided that, you know what, red would be a brighter pop of color. And later on at the end of this video, I'm going to share an entire walkthrough of May. For the right hand side, I picked two of my favorite photos from this chunk of time. And of course, they're my kids. Both my kids had big things going on during this last half of the month. My daughter had several things, but for this one, I picked a photo of her overnight trip. And for my son, I picked his job interview. So really fun and awesome things that they were doing at the end of the month. I also am going to use that really huge chipboard that has a quote on it that says enjoy the small moments as they come. And I just love it. I love how Ali Edwards did these large chipboards. They're very cool. So I'm going to use that in place of a 3x4 spot. And I also pulled out some wood veneer from my stash. I think some of the wood veneer had colors on them, but I just used the plain side because I didn't think that the colors matched very well. So I just flipped them over and used the plain side. I also wanted to use some stamped phrases from the Enjoy stamp. I would have used a ton more because I just love this stamp set and I love this kit. It's very versatile and I can see myself using it a lot. But on the large label on the collage page, I stamped thankful for this goodness. And the other sentiment I stamped was enjoying this, and my intention was to put it over on the right hand side, not realizing that that might be a little bit of an issue because I had to kind of finagle it. That's a fun word to say, but I had to take that chipboard and kind of scoot it over just a little bit. I wanted to keep the chipboard in line with the photo, and I think I was able to still do that even with the enjoying this, but I was able to tuck it underneath the chipboard, and that way both sides have a sticker label, and then I can go ahead and adhere down the wood veneer that I have. And it's just a few, so that way it helps your eye travel over the space. So once I get to the journaling, I'm just going to do a bullet point list, or in this case, I did arrows, but I really just wanted to have a chance to like explain each of the photos. So I just said, you know, a hike for my husband and I. We got our pool out. I also filled up the candy jar, which is just like how my grandpa used to do it. And then my daughter also had her play. My husband and I went on an evening walk. We were growing bell peppers and a neighborhood cacti. I think that's the plural. Cacti was blooming, which I absolutely loved. So like I said, there was a lot going on at the end of this month, and that's why a collage worked much better. I could have done a 2x2 pocket page or a 2x2 grid, but I just decided this fun, different type of grid or collage, I guess you could say, would work best. So that is all done. I'm going to put it into the album. And I just love it. It's simple and I love it. And that's what I'm going for with this Project Life. Simple and done, and use my supplies, use what I have, and then just keep moving forward. Okay, so the last page for May is going to be a wrap-up page. I tend to do wrap-up pages, either I do it with just words or I do it with favorite photos, even if I repeat them. Or I do photos that have not been used. And in this case, I did photos that had not been used. And I went with a 3x2 and 2x2s. And when I printed out the photos, I did not realize that the cacti photo that I had in one of the 2x2 spots was not going to work. And it turned out to be a fantastic thing that it didn't work, because I was able to go through my stash and find this journaling card that says the time is now, and use that, and then go from there to make a monochromatic green spread. And I love it. I did a black and white photo for my daughter in the choir because the colors were just not great, and it worked much better if it was black and white. And that's definitely a favorite trick, is if you want to have your own colors, just switch it to black and white. But I did black and white for the choir, and then we took our son out to food while sister was gone at camp. So I included that photo, and then a photo of me working out. I love to include those photos in our family album, so that way, someday when the kids look back, they can see mom was taking care of herself. And then I've got a nature photo. And once I cut out the journaling card, I had some leftover, pieces of the journaling card, and they had really pretty pattern on the card, and I figured, let's use those. So I cut some 1-inch circles, and I'm going to use those to make a border at the top and the bottom. And you can see I just peeled the sticker that I had printed. It says celebrating. I could have die cut it on my Cameo, but I decided that I just wanted it a little bit flatter, so I did celebrating. And then, of course, just placing my half circles up at the top. And again, this card is super pretty and has lots of variation in the colors, so it worked really nicely. I'm going to finish up the spread with some stamping, of course, and add in some more of the green. And I am so glad that I did black and white photos, because it would not have worked if I had not done black and white photos. And I'm also going to show you at the end of this video where I'm at for June. I have not started June, but I have one page already done. But I'm looking forward to figuring out what I'm going to do for June and how many pages it is going to be. May wound up being a lot more than I thought it was going to be, but that's okay. Sometimes that happens when you have more like outside adventures or more things going on. So I went looking through my stories by the month stamps, and I found one that says May looked like this. I stamped it, loved it, and I thought, what if I find other circle stamps to carry the circle theme? And I did. I found 2 more. The one at the top says thankful for this and piece of the story, and then the one at the bottom is going to say just awesome. I also used a lighter green to stamp around here twice, and a rainbow, and it is such a cool page. I just love how this turned out. It is so pretty. It's definitely going to probably be a go-to design now that I kind of keep in my repertoire, I guess you could say, so I can repeat it. But that is the end of May, and I'm so happy it's done. You just saw me wrap up the last pages for May. That's why this video was a little bit longer, but I also wanted to show you what May looks like now that it is complete. I have April and May in this album, and I have no idea how many months this album is going to hold, because each month seems to be having a lot of pages. May much more so than April, and after May comes June, when all the summer adventures start. So you can see this is April, and what I added was a vellum piece, so that way I could do a tab that says April. And then I added another transparency for May, and I will add the tab. and then this whole big chunk is May. So a lot of pages. So let's just take a look at how May turned out. I have the opening page. Then I have this weekly spread with a pocket page. Then I move into the project that I did for Ali Edwards, Stories by the Month. Then another weekly spread. I think this covers week 19, and I used bits and pieces of the Currently kit. No, the Now kit. Followed by another weekly spread that uses the Currently kit and another awesome grid. Then comes Mother's Day, and things got a little out of order here, but that's okay. So I got a stamp set from Studio Calico and decided to just have fun with the stamp set and use these selfies from Mother's Day. And then I didn't really have a place to put this page because my album for 2023 is half binder size. So I figured, you know what? I have these photos. Why don't I just make 2 spreads? Stick this in the project life, add another page, and there you go. So now this page has a home. After this comes the outdoor adventure, the first one, and then comes the weekly spread. So that's where I'm saying things got a little out of order, because this probably should have come before Mother's Day or before the outdoor adventures. But either way, it's in here. And another collage. I made this collage. It didn't turn out quite how I wanted because I had 3 here, 3 here, and then 3. And then I wound up with a really tiny one at the bottom. And I don't know. I'm just going to go with it. So this is one of the ones that you just saw me put together. It's very simple, but it's to the point and I get it done, right? Also saw me put this one together, a happy story, and I added some letters right here. It was a really fun outing with my daughter. The second, outdoor adventures, followed by this page that you just saw me put together, the wrap-up page, and I used a journaling card and then punched some shapes out of the journaling card. So simple and done. So now I can move on to June. I do already have 1 page done from June. Yes, 1 page from June with a family outing that I did last year. And so I'm excited to dive into June and see how many pages it's going to wind up and just keep going with my family's album. So I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing these pages come together. I would love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you are new to my channel. Have a great day. Bye.